Okay, guys, time for history again. So let's continue. Today we are going to finish up the chapter on Hitler's rule. As usual, reminders please make sure you have your notes, your writing materials, okay, that you're comfortable, and enough sleep. Enough sleep means 7 to 8 hours a day. By the way, you only grow taller when you sleep, so well, make sure you sleep enough, okay? So today we are going to finish up this chapter. Chapter 3.1 and 3.2 will sum up what we know about Germany. And this is where we are today. We are going to talk about social impact. Okay, we have talked about propaganda, censorship, the secret police, what they call the Gestapo. Okay, the persecution of the minority. So we talk about things like Kristallnacht, the Nuremberg laws, and of course, the Holocaust, which was a terrible stain on our past. Okay, so today we are going to look at two groups: the women and the youth in Nazi Germany, and we're going to look at how Hitler and the Nazi Party affected the lives of these people. Okay, so here we go. Okay, don't get shocked. All right. So before Nazi Germany came in, women had the right to vote, which is by the way called women's suffrage. Okay, suffrage does not mean suffering. Okay, it means the right to vote. They have equality in marriage. They can vote. They can hold political positions. They have positions of power. Okay. By the way, women's suffrage is not such a. It's not something which we can take for granted. All right. Go and do some research and look at when were women allowed to vote. Okay. But under Nazi rule, women, as you can see from the slide, they are confined to the roles of mother and spouse. It is literally stay in the kitchen, which, as crude as it sounds, is really not a favorable set of circumstances at all. Why? Hitler is, shall we say, a chauvinist. What is a chauvinist? Chauvinist. A chauvinist. I think I spelled it wrongly. I think it's chauvinist. Well, go and find out. A chauvinist, boys, is not what you want to be. Okay? 3D says that I should reference all their names, but I believe that none of them are chauvinists. So please, don't be like Hitler. Hitler believed that German women served their nation by bearing children. No, the answer is no. Okay? So you can imagine whether this is a positive or negative impact. Let's have a look at some posters. Poster A, what does it say? It shows a German woman with 3 children, which emphasizes the role of the mother. Notice the very subtle Nazi symbol in the background. NS is National Socialist. And again, look at this. Look at the father, look at the children, and the mother. Observe that the father is standing tall, right? But the mother seems to be leaning on the father, which indicates that, she is dependent on him. At the same time, she is carrying the child, and but she's also in the background of the picture. So think about that, okay? This is the kind of image of a woman that the Nazi Party wanted to create. This is how ridiculous it is. You can pause here to have a read of what is going on. Okay. Look, it says it sounds good, right? Financial assistance for single mothers, but only if your children are Aryan. That is to say, ethnic German, tall, blonde, blue-eyed, so on and so forth. Racism at its finest. Okay, and look at what is this? Himmler, Martin Bormann, they wanted to legalize polygamous. Polygamous means one man can have more than one wife. Why? So that more veterans are allowed to take 2 or more wives to maintain the birth rate. What? That is ridiculous. Okay. So clearly, the role of women, the effect of Nazi policy on women is very, very terrible. We shall term it as detrimental. Okay, and furthermore, it is a backward step. Can you imagine? It's like you were making some progress, then you step. It's not one step; it's a few steps, right? So how about youth then? Let's have a look at them. So let's have a look. Think about the German youth. The Nazis viewed the youth as essential to the future and well-being. Okay, just like how I think that you guys are essential to the future and well-being of Singapore. Therefore, guys, when you can vote, please vote wisely. Think about me. Okay? So if you think about it, we have national education, right? The Nazis also had national education. It's their form of CCE, I guess. Except it's rather twisted, and they even have a CCA for it, which is the Hitler Youth. It is a paramilitary organization, which is to say they practice military activities, and it's basically the youth counterpart of SA. What does that mean? It means that after you graduate from the Hitler Youth, you can DSA into the SA. Haha, DSA into the SA. Okay. So this is what they look like. They have the uniform. You notice that it looks very military. It trains them to become part of the SA, the SS, the army, so on and so forth. These are things that they do. If you think about it, wrestling, weapons, okay. It's basically preparing them to serve Germany as soldiers. So think about the messages that are being sent. Doesn't mean that being a soldier is wrong, but if you're a soldier, then you need to ask yourself, what are you fighting for? Okay? So this is the curriculum of the Hitler Youth, sorry. Okay, they are groomed to be leaders, they're indoctrinated. Imagine their textbook is on anti-Semitism. I will try to find a source about what was taught in the Nazi classroom, okay, and I'll share with you. Please don't take it wrongly. Okay. Academic study is not emphasized. You know why? Because basically when you get more educated and you start getting woke, right, and learning about ideas, you're going to wake up and you're going to realize that Nazi ideology is bad, and you're just going to start questioning yourself, why am I marching around carrying a swastika? Okay? So instead of this, the Hitler Youth focuses on physical and military training. Okay? So let's have a look. Was the Hitler Youth good? Well, you know, those people who were actually signed up in the Hitler Youth, they did enjoy the benefits of having a well-funded and well-run CCA. However, we must consider that whatever they were consuming was propagandistic content, and it's definitely not good for them. I would say, in general, that the Hitler Youth essentially wasted nearly a generation of young German people. Okay, so today I just want to sum up this entire chapter. You know, we have looked at so many things. Okay, let me just sum them up. Positive impact, basically, largely only for the economy. Okay, because Germany did get out of the Great Depression, they did create more jobs, and there is welfare. What do I mean by welfare? Remember that this is the perception of welfare. Okay, we have things like beauty through labor and strength through joy, right? But let's remember that these things, even though they say that you can have holidays and movies, the kind of movies and holidays that you watch, that you consume, are controlled. Okay, and there's so many other negative impacts. I would like all of you to go back and, you know, do the mind map. Okay, we've done the mind map before. Go and break down Hitler's rule into political, economic, social, and evaluate each point. You should be able to say it's negative and why. Okay, so you can have a look at all of this. Your source project should help you with this. Okay. So we've come to the end of the chapter. The next chapter that we're going to look at, okay, so we were looking at the Treaty of Versailles, right? Treaty of Versailles, what year is that? 1919. So long we have not done any timeline review, right? Then after that, Hitler comes into power. We started looking at it, tracking it from 1928. And then in 1933, Hitler becomes Chancellor, right? The next key event that we're going to look at is 1939, which is when World War II begins. And that is the next chapter that we are going to study. Okay? Well, it's time for the joke of the day. Why was the cup of coffee arrested by... Sorry. Why was the cup of coffee going to the police station? It's because he needed to report that he got mugged. Haha. Okay, see you.